My name is Lauren Pulaski, and I work at Ivy Ranch Elementary School as a mild moderate special education teacher for grades K through 3. My inquiry question was, what strategies can be implemented to promote social interactions on the playground for students with IEPs? The reason that I chose that question is because at Ivy Ranch we have 77 students with IEPs, which is about 10% of our population, and 37% of those students with IEPs have autism. So when I went out on the playground at recess, I would see the students with autism walking around alone, not interacting with other kids, aides not interacting with their students, which ultimately leads to social goals not being worked on. Research states that students with autism have poor social motivation, difficulty understanding the perspective of others, and difficulty understanding social cues. Those social deficits that were just talked about may lead to students with autism having social neglect and isolation, peer rejection, peer conflict, and then lack of close reciprocal friendships with others. The student learning I expected to see was more increased interactions for students with IEPs, like saying hello in the hallway, meeting more of their IEP social goals, and then becoming routine to play with other kids at recess and not needing to be prompted by their aides. Also, that they will begin to develop real friendships with other kids. The student learning was going to be measured by number of students with IEPs engaged in the activity, the amount of time students are engaged in the activity, and then the number of students without IEPs engaged with the activity. My first action plan step was reading the hands-on manual for teaching social skills to kids with autism. I created a recess plan visual for students who were hesitant to interact with others. This gave them a clear expectation that they needed to follow every day on the playground. And then I also updated my data sheets to more resemble the ones that I saw in the manual, which led to more accurate data from the aides. My action plan step 2 was observing a middle school social skills class. I started to incorporate the zones of regulation more into the social skills lessons. The students were able to begin to identify their zones of regulation and when they are in those zones and how to regulate those emotions, and then ultimately generalizing those skills into other settings. I also began to add challenges into the daily activities on the playground to work on collaboration and then to help the students with IEPs work on dealing with frustration. I attended the peers training. They gave us a link to see good and bad video modeling for different social situations. I played it for the students during social skills group, and they were able to see clear ways that they should be interacting with others, and then they would role play it. We specifically watched how to be a good sport and appropriate ways to enter a group conversation, since those are things that they see every day. The unit engaged the students in communication, collaboration, creativity. In first grade, the one student played an average of 8 minutes per recess. Another student played an average of 5.56 minutes per recess, and then an average of 9.4 students without IEPs joined into the game per recess. In second grade, the one student played an average of 14 minutes per recess, and an average of 4 additional students without IEPs joined into the game per recess. In third grade, an average of 3.4 students with IEPs played the game per recess, and then an average of 4.93 additional students without IEPs joined into the game per recess. I learned a lot about my students because of the inquiry project. With adult facilitation, all the students want to play on the playground, kids with IEPs and without. The students with IEPs want to be included with other students They just need the modeling on how to play with the other students. Visuals and timers help the students with IEPs know the expectation and rules on the playground. And practicing the social situations in a safe, pull-out environment allows the students with IEPs to know what's expected and comfortable in the natural setting. And alternating between fine and gross motor games allow different student strengths to be highlighted out in the natural setting. I interviewed the students on what they thought of the social facilitation on the playground, and here are some of their responses. What I learned about myself as a teacher is I want to continue the social facilitation on the playground. The pre-teaching of social skills is crucial for the students with social deficits. Using concrete social data is important versus the anecdotal data. It gives me more concrete data on where the students actually are. And then organization is what really helped this inquiry project be successful.